Season 4 is simple. Win big, score knockdowns, finish strong.
You're right about that, Justin. Finish strong. Here's how TBL works. You get 8 launch rounds, 8 middle rounds, and 8 money rounds. And Dave, let's go with the launch rounds. Which is the round that you're looking for?
Well, I'll tell you what, the Cisco Kid for Philadelphia and Ryan Zempolite-Tecatl for New York, because Cisco Kid has been blossoming into a star for Philadelphia, and Zempolite-Tecatl has been a mainstay for New York. So the young gun coming up against the veteran, that's a great matchup.
That'll be round number 4. Let's go to our ringside reporter for tonight. New member of the team, Lady Law. How are the vibes in Philly?
The energy is electric in Philly, and I've been lucky enough to catch up with the coaches of both respective teams backstage to kind of introduce myself. This is my first time here, and get a feel of what the overall objective is here tonight for each team. So Ryan O'Leary from the NYC Attitude said that they're looking to hold their status as champs. Obviously last year they had a really good time and they want to maintain that status. Now on the other hand, Coach Rob Kane from the Philadelphia Smoke said they want to stay sharp, they want to stay alert, and they want to win rounds. When I asked them if either of them had a secret weapon, then Ryan O'Leary said it's definitely going to be Natalie Z. So we're looking forward to see her perform tonight.
She'll be the first fight that we're going to see. Great job by Lady Law. We'll check in with her all night long, our ringside reporter. Season 4 of TBL is here, and the reigning champion, New York City Attitude, on the road to take on the Philly Smoke. Fight action is coming up next. Team Boxing League is brought to you by Balance of Nature. In boxing, consistency beats intensity. Balance of Nature supplements help you stay consistent with ingredients of whole foods you can easily slot into your daily routine. Go to balanceofnature.com, use the code TEAM, and start today. The Fillmore in Philadelphia, as we're going to kick off Season 4. Let's go to our ring announcer for tonight, Patrick Creighton.
We also like to thank our sponsors this evening. Climax, Balance of Nature, Serene Springs Recovery Center. And fans, don't forget, you can now let's meet the reigning, defending TBL Team Boxing League Season 3 champions, the NYC Attitude.
The Attitude, the defending champion. A lot of smiles on their faces. They walk out together. They're in their white trunks tonight. One of the cool features about TBL is how the teams train together, fight together, bond together.
And these two teams know each other so well. They split the first 3 championships, and they have fighters who have changed from one team to the other. So 125 miles apart, ferocious rival.
Oh, we're going to get into the fighters that will switch sides. Well, you know we will.
Reigning Mega Bowl champion, NYC Attitude. 14-time national champion, bantamweight, Natalie Zempotica. 2-time Golden Gloves champion and current ABO regional champion, Featherweight, Alexander Castellano. Multi-time national champion, Featherweight, Angelis Lopez Mendez. Multi-time national champion, lightweight, Ryan Pretty Boy Zempotica. Welterweight, Adonis Wilkins. 8-time Puerto Rican national champion, super welterweight, Ryan Pretty Boy Pino. Former WBF champion and 2025 TBL Most Improved Boxer, Middleweight, Lasha Garbliani. Serbian national champion and silver medalist at the 2024 European Championships, heavyweight Dusan Vlatic. Featherweight Amelia Ruan Anguilo. Puerto Rican national champion, lightweight Jose Adrian Diaz Rodriguez. Super featherweight, super lightweight, Florencia Britos. Super middleweight, Brian Polaco. Pennsylvania Golden Gloves champion, light heavyweight, Lindsay Slinger. Cruiserweight, Tony Tessie Goliath Ives. Former NCAA All-American and NFL veteran, heavyweight Michael Bonmiro. And their opponents, your hometown TBL Team Boxing League Season 2 champions, the Philly Smoke.
Philly Smoke, a team that thought they had a championship last year. A team that Bob Kane's squad was one of the favorites, and they were upset in mega brawl coming out with the mask. And you talk about a team that is locked in, looking for revenge. Not just tonight, but in all of season 4. They're always one of the stacked teams, always one of the most vicious teams, and always one of the most dangerous teams in TBL action.
A lot of great Philly fighters, and of course the great Philly boxing style from those gyms. Very slick, technically oriented team. A lot of terrific footwork with their athletes, and they have been fighters who have fought to the scoring system, but now they're going to have to step up now a little bit more power. Interesting to see how it affects them.
Championships, Bantamweight, Lisandra La Rivera Antunes. Lightweight, Cisco Kid Rodriguez. Welterweight, Isaiah Killer Duke Johnson. Super middleweight, Steve Bout Cunningham Jr. Middleweight, Jerome Yamalama, Mr. Duke Damage McNeil. Two-time national champion and Olympic trialist, heavyweight Stephen Warp Williams. Multi-time national champion and 2020 U.S. Olympian, Featherweight Shaquille Ellis. Lightweight Angel, the chosen one, Hernandez. Multi-time national champion, Team USA member and Olympic trialist, super lightweight Stasia, the Natural Sotos. Welterweight Najee No Mercy Jones. Super middleweight Zaire, the Punisher Jefferson. Former USBA, NABO, and NABF champion, light heavyweight Jesse Hard Work Hard. Former two-time world champion, Cruiserweight Steve USS Cunningham Sr. New York Golden Gloves champion, heavyweight Don't Blink Nathan. Fans, at this time, we ask you please rise and remove your hats and give a warm welcome to TBL veteran Nahir Albright as he performs our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the Rockies red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does Star Spangled Banner wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
All right, now here Albright coming off a unanimous decision. I'm sorry, it should have been a unanimous decision. It was a draw on the Ryan Garcia card back in Las Vegas. Albright went at it with Frank Martin. The judges had it a draw. I was there, man. He won that fight. Especially not because I'm saying I'm a TBL guy, but he won that fight.
And in his spare time, he can be Pipes Albright.
Oh, absolutely. He definitely put on a show to hear all about Philly. And there you see the females are getting ready to go at it. That is an 18-year-old Natalie Zempoteka. And she's going to be taking Lysandra Contreras. And TBL, the women fight 3-minute rounds. 8 in the launch round, 8 middle rounds, 8 money rounds, 24 rounds of action coming your way from Team Boxing League. That is the younger sister of Ryan Zempo. She's making her professional debut. She's been a standout amateur, 14-time national champion, part of Team USA, high performance teams. The father, Herman, has been their boxing coach, guided them along the way, and she's ready to make a name for herself in Team Boxing League. She's been to the fight supporting her brother
Throughout the circuit, who watched in season 3 with terrific amateur background, saying, hey, you know what, there's an opportunity for me. I can join my brother, I can join colleagues who have been with me in USA Boxing, and we saw a lot of fighters like her gravitate to the scene in the off-season and say, I want to do this.
And one of the things about Team Boxing League is they've really been pushing the females fighting, and you're seeing some of them go on and get some big-time fights because of the work that they're getting in TBL. And right now, Natalie Zempoteka coming out super aggressive.
We always start off with a women's match, and the coaches will tell you how significant you have to have a strong women's group to compete for a championship.
Lysandra Contreras, 3-0 outside of TBL. Born in Monte Plata, Dominican Republic, moved to the United States when she was 2. Silver medal at the Women National Champions, Newark, New Jersey. She's just been fighting as an amateur, a standout amateur, 120 wins as an amateur before she joined the pros in 2025. 3-0 has a stoppage, and this is a good battle right here.
Yeah, you had 2 fighters with the same idea as far as pressure and maintaining their boxing skills. But what I like is the poise that they have both shown, kind of a sense of the timing that you need. You would figure with the adrenaline, you might be really super pumped, first fight of the entire season, but we're seeing some poise with these fighters.
Now, they don't look like they're young fighters. They're coming out really aggressive, but the ladies are setting the tone for what should be good 23 rounds of action to come. The oohs and ahs from the teammates. The teammates are sitting ringside. Contreras with an uppercut. Back and forth action. This is how you start season 4. This is how you get after it. And Natalie, being the newest member of the New York City Attitude, she was there for the Mega Brawl when the Attitude won the championship last season. So she knows what it's all about.
Yeah, you know, you've got the momentum of everything they did at the end of last year, and you know that you have to pace yourself, put your foot on the pedal, and find that balance between aggression and boxing skills. And right now we're seeing a great rally from Philly to try and steal this.
Great round between Contreras, and welcome to the pro ranks, Natalie Zempoteka. Yeah, the round's over, ladies. They still want to keep going. Look at some of the highlights there.
And this is where Philly tries to steal this at the end. It's always good to make a late impression with the judges. It all counts, but you're trying to push forward. Good jab with the right hand coming in. And at the end, Edge Philly will find out about the rest of it.
Congratulations to the 18-year-old Natalie Zempoteka, keeping the family tradition going. We'll see her brother Ryan in round number 4.
By Climax Moonshine Fire number 32, known to bring the heat. Next round in our 126-pound division, in the red corner for the Philly Smoke, Rasheen Sugar Sheen Brown. In the blue corner for the NYC Attitude, two-time Golden Gloves champion, current ABO regional champion, Alexander Castellano.
Second round action. Rasheen Brown. This kid is all about Philly. Sugar Sheen, they call him. Started boxing when he was 7 years old. The foundation, smooth, southpaw, years of development. This is the technical fighter right here. But he has that fighting Philly spirit. We love watching Sugar Sheen, Dave.
Yeah, we really do. And I talked earlier about the footwork on these Philly fighters. He has been a real treat to watch. With that, you tie up, do all the cutesy things if you feel like you can't score. Get in and out. So this is a guy that's been involved in many cat and mouse struggles. The hit and not get hit mantra.
Castellano, Buffalo Fighter of the Year, Buffalo Golden Gloves champ, upstate New York. That's a tough place to fight your way out of.
And what he has to do here is fight his way in to try to get inside that jab and try to do his best work on the inside against Rasheen Brown. And you can see the difficulty an elusive fighter like Brown is.
Here's Castellanos' debut in TBL. First time we see him. Heard about him. Where a fighter like Rasheen Brown has 33 rounds of action. The experience. He's been with Philadelphia for a while.
And this is the type of fight that exemplifies the TBL model of boxing for the 3 rounds. Because if these guys fight 6 rounds, you know, sooner or later, you're going to get inside on a guy like Rasheen Brown and be able to do your business. But in 1 round, you may not get there. And that is the dilemma that Brown's opponents face.
And learning about TBL. You might say, okay, I know how to do it, I know how to fight. But when you only get 1 round, you got to go for the gusto. You got to let it all out. And this is where a fighter like Castellano, who has 14 pro fights, he's 12-2 away from TBL action, knows that, okay, I have rounds to build up. No, not here. You got to go for it.
I think that's the hardest adjustment for fighters when they come here, is you know that you have to be aggressive. Okay, so you can channel your energy there. But what about the stylistics? What about trying to get inside against the guy who's a magician with his boxing skills and footwork like Rasheen Brown? And then, what if he does get inside? What about the scoring?
And they do have a common opponent, as Castellanos and Brown both fought Sharon Smoke Carter, a veteran of the fight game. And Brown knocked him out in the first round earlier this month, and Castellano lost to him a couple years ago. And there you see the slick Rasheen Brown. Too smooth.
Okay.
Look at that.
You want to see the definition of Philly fighters with the footwork we talked about earlier? That's been him. And so, the question now is, do the judges like what he did? At the end, Castellano found a way in, but it was very late.
New York is up 1-0. What will happen in the second round?
In the red corner for the Philly Smoke, Rasheen Sugar Sheen Brown. After 2 rounds, we are tied at 1. Our third round is in the 126-pound division. In the red corner for the Philly Smoke, 3-time Pennsylvania State Champion and Honduran Olympic team member, Maria La Catracha Antunes. In the blue corner for the NYC Attitude, multi-time national champion, Angelis Lopez Mendez.
Tied up at 1, Maria Antunes from Philly Smoke, a Division II soccer player at Mercyhurst. Also representing her country of Honduras as part of the women's national team. Over 70 amateur fights. Has won the Western PA Golden Glove 5 years in a row. She's been around representing with Honduras for the soccer team. But she's been winning a lot of tournaments and signed pro a couple years ago. And she's taking on Angelis Mendez, who is a tough fighter. Mendez, Puerto Rican roots, 29-year-old, 16 rounds of action in TBL. And this is Maria's TBL debut. So back just like the men, you have to get used to this. And welcome to TBL, where for the women, it's 3-minute rounds.
Yeah, and Antunes learning a lot from the last fight. That Castellano could not get inside against Rasheen Brown, and it was costly. So she's come out and tried to take it right to her opponent, get inside and do the work right up front. You do learn watching your teammates, you do learn watching the flow of other fights.
That's one thing about it, Dave, the flow for the women. That's what you want to have. Lopez Mendez has that flow for New York in the white trunks. And you can see how comfortable she is with that Puerto Rican tattoo flag on her tricep. Representing well. And just that movement, that shot right there, how compact she is throwing the 1s and 2s.
And I really like how she's cutting off the ring there. A veteran sense of how to keep your opponent trapped.
And you hear the Philly Smoke fans and their fighters urging them on.
Stylistically, Antunes is dialed in. And she's been making this ring smaller and smaller. Good body shots, and that's the opportunities that will come up when you are able to cut off the ring.
Antunes for Philly and Black, good job getting off the rope. So right there, Lopez Mendez countering, attacking, like a pit bull right after you. Seconds to go in round number 3. We're tied up at 1. Season 4 of TBL after a hot start in Philly. Mendez, all business for the New York City Attitude. She has that same attitude as her team. Ryan O'Leary and Benny Roman instilling it in them. Oh, good round between the women there.
Good pressure by Mendez all throughout. Here she kept coming, and she went right at her opponent and was able to cut off the ring too in the corners. That may have been as impressive as a straight-ahead charge, because she was able to keep her opponent contained, and by doing that she was able to launch into her secondary offensive attack.
The winner of this round by the score of 1-0 out of the blue corner for the NYC Attitude, Angelis Lopez Mendez. After 3 rounds, NYC leads 2-1. Tonight's fights are powered by Balance of Nature. Our fighters fuel with clean carbs and real ingredients, and now you can too. Grab their new guiltless snacks and get 35% off right now with code FIGHT at balanceofnature.com.
This is the fight.
This round is in a 135-pound division. In the red corner for the Philly Smoke, Francisco Cisco Kid Rodriguez. In the blue corner for the NYC Attitude, multi-time national champion, Ryan Pretty Boy Zempoteka.
This is the round you highlighted, Dave. Why?
Yeah, because of the veteran status of Zempo and the blossoming stardom of Cisco Kid. And by the way, let's get this one established. When you told me earlier, Zempolite Tecado, that's the Mexican pronunciation, right? And they're going with the local pronunciation here. If you hear 2 different names for him, that's got to be why.
Yeah, both these fighters, a lot of experience in TBL, as Rodriguez had 23 rounds of action left in his career and goes down. Ryan Zempolteca. We know that he's got the power. We know that he's got the flair. And dropping Cisco Kid here in round number 4.
The Zempo hammer. The first big dramatic moment we have here in this contest. 2 power fighters, and shows there. That big right hand is there.
And that's a bonus point, Dave. That's the bonus point. That's huge this season. Zempo, trained by his father, Herman, started boxing at the age of 3. And he started training seriously at 7, and it's all about boxing for the Zempolteca family. They train in their house, Dave, in their backyard.
This is where the savvy instincts kick in. You look at Zempo, and here's a guy who senses that he can get more than the 1 bonus point. And you have to maintain your composure, but know when you have to open it up and try for even more bonus points.
And Ryan says, for me, you got to watch out for my hook. And there he goes, dropping him again for the 2nd time.
Showing him a different look with this.
Can Zempo make it 3 in the round? He's already got 2 bonus points for New York City Attitude. And Cisco Kid shook. Body shot from Zempo. A minute to go in the round. A long minute for Francisco Rodriguez right now. Decked twice.
And Zempo has been in a groove, even into the first knockdown. I was talking about how he was balancing.
And drops him for the 3rd time. And it is over. The 4th round is a 3 knockdown round for Ryan Zempolteca. Ooh-wee.
The round to watch, indeed. First dramatic highlight reel round of the fight. And you're looking over at the Philly team, and they're stunned a little bit. This is one of their best fighters, but Zempo steps up here. The hooks, the right hands, everything from a distance is landing.
He said, watch out for my slick hook to the opponent's head. And that's what he was landing with ease.
These are titanic shots, and this is against a skilled fighter who has won professional fights. This is extremely impressive for Zempo.
Representing Hook Elite in Newburgh, New York.
Our referee brings a stop to this round at 2 minutes, 13 seconds for the winner by TKO. In the blue corner for the NYC Attitude, Ryan Pretty Boy Zempoteka. That is a 4-0 round. At current score, NYC 6, Philly 1.
The reigning champions looking good in Philly on top, 6-1, thanks to Ryan Zempolteca knockout. Zempoteka takeover in Philly. Sister Natalie with a win. A TKO for Ryan. And let's look at the highlights of that, right?
He came out smoking in that round. Huge overhand right, then the hook.
All right, we got round number 5. Isaiah Johnson for Philly and Adonis Wilkins for New York City Attitude. We'll hear from the brother and sister coming up. But right now, Adonis Wilkins. Let's go out to Lady Law, who's standing by with the Zempotekas.
I am with brother and sister right now. Natalie, what was more pressure, to perform with your family, in front of your family here tonight, or to make something happen in 3 minutes?
I think having my family, it didn't pressure me. It just made me more relaxed. I have them with me. They comfort me. But I think going in the ring and having like the 3 minutes fight, that actually pressured me.
Thank you for that. And I'm here with Ryan. I mean, gosh, all that training led up to this moment. Did it play out exactly how you thought it would?
You know, this is what we expected. You know, we train too hard, is what happens.
And as a big brother, did you think your sister's training played out how you thought it would tonight?
You know, she did her thing and she won the round. I'm very proud of her.
We are proud of the Zempo family. How amazing. Back to you, Dave and Beto.
Good work by them, and they have New York City on top, 6-1. Right now, Isaiah Johnson from Philly in the purple, trying to get his squad back into the mix right now. The southpaw, who started boxing at 9 years old. He's currently 12-1 away from TBL. He's had over 80 amateur fights. He's another one, Dave. You talk about the slick Philly fighter. That's Isaiah Johnson.
Yeah, and now he needs to develop a little bit more in that persona because of what happened in that last fight. He needs to be a stopper for his team. This is very important here, as the Zempo family has come up with 5 points for New York, and last year that would have been a 10-7. All right, a 3-point difference. Now it's a 4-point difference, so it's even more magnified, more pressure on the Philly fighter now.
Adonis Wilkins making his TBL debut in the white trunks. Away from TBL, he's 8-0. 7 stoppages for the 27-year-old. And right now he's getting tagged by the smooth Isaiah Johnson, who's so elusive. On the ropes on purpose.
Yeah, on the ropes on purpose, and they sliding and gliding. You talk about stick and move. When he's on, you can fight him all day and not hit him.
This is what you want to have if you're Philly. Somebody come in and control a round. And the 1-2, make it difficult for Wilkins to get anything flush. In TBL, fighters are allowed to have 2 rounds. Sometimes they face the same fighter, sometimes they'll mix somebody else up.
Well, if Philly wins, this was their most important victory of the night, coming off a 4-point loss. Slick on the outside, trying to keep the New York fighter away. And you almost have to be perfect and not get hit with much if you're going to be moving laterally and maybe not throwing a whole lot, but showcasing defense.
The winner of this round by the score of 1-0. In the red corner for the Philly Smoke, Isaiah Killer Duke Johnson. NYC leads 6-2. This round brought to you by Serenity Springs Recovery Center, a place of recovery and self-discovery. Round 6 is in the 154-pound division. In the red corner for the Philly Smoke, Steve Tugboat Cunningham Jr. In the blue corner for NYC Attitude, 8-time Puerto Rican national champion, Ryan Pretty Boy Pino.
A veteran of TBL, Ryan Pino. He's got the white trunks and southpaw stance, but he'll slip back to orthodox. He's a savvy, crafty fighter, Puerto Rican roots. He actually trains in Puerto Rico. The former world champion and Hall of Famer Ivan Calderon. You've seen him many times out there.
Oh, yeah. Good tutelage to be taking from him.
And Steve Cunningham Jr., yes, the son of USS Cunningham, who we've seen many times on TBL. It's a good matchup right here. Real good matchup. As Cunningham has not lost in TBL action. He's a perfect 7-0.
He's a good boxer, slick like the Philly fighters, and Pino has some good but deceptive power.
We've seen Ryan Pino a lot in TBL and away from the TBL ring. And here's who he is. Over 270 amateur fights. Mentioned he trains with Ivan Calderon. He's 29 years old. A fighting family for Ryan Pino. His mom was a pro boxer. Dad was a wrestler and boxing trainer. And they've both trained him during the course of his career.
We talk about family influence.
Yeah.
And what he's trying to do here stylistically, he's looking for that lead right hand. Something to play off the jab coming at him. You see the low right hand being carried down there by Cunningham, but Pino's not biting. You have to know when you can seize that opening and jump in behind him.
Team Boxing League has been great for Ryan Pino, keeping him active. He has 28 rounds of action in TBL, has opportunities to go and fight in different locations with different promoters, but he keeps coming back to TBL because he loves it. Keeps him active, gets some good rounds, and it keeps him in the eyes of other promoters that could possibly pick up a fight. I met him back in 2018 when Golden Boy was using him. They were using him to test him out against Raul Curiel, who was a Mexican Olympian, and then against Danielito Zorrilla, who at that time was promoted by Miguel Cotto in Puerto Rico. And this kid, he came up short, but is a tough as nails fighter, and you see that in TBL, but you also see some boxing with him, right? You see that little swagger from Ryan Pino.
Well, here he has a foundation. He is somebody here, has a reputation, it's blossoming, and then he can take it somewhere else. You can make a distinctive mark here. There's a reward if you can put a good round together.
23-year-old Steve Cunningham Jr. away from Boxing League. He's 3-0, 2 stoppages. Another fighter who's taking advantage of TBL, giving them exposure, giving them opportunities to showcase their talents. This is good back and forth between these two. And we'll see them again in round 17 to kick off the money rounds.
Well, this will be the boxing of Cunningham and the opportunistic right hands of Pino that got in. And the question will be, how many of those do the judges believe that he got in? So this is a real subjective scenario now for these judges. The right hands versus the overall boxing.
The winner of this round, by the score of 1-0, in the red corner for the Philly Smoke, Steve "Tugboat" Cunningham Jr.
All right, so he gets a victory. His dad will be coming up in round 15.
6-3. Round 7 in the 160-pound division. In the red corner for the Philly Smoke, Jerome Javalova, Mr. Do Damage McNeil. In the blue corner for the NYC Attitude, former WBF champ and 2025 TBL Most Improved Boxer, Lasha Gergoliani.
This is an interesting one. First time we see Jerome McNeil in TBL action, the 37-year-old making his Team Boxing League debut. Interesting background for Mr. Lava Lava, Mr. Do Damage. He started boxing a couple years ago as an amateur, has one pro fight. He broke his hand in 2025 training and had to wait to the end of the year of December to turn pro. As he says, I don't have much boxing experience, but I got life experience. It's driven me to the point of everything I said I would do. And he said he's electric. We'll see what he's got, because he's got it tough against Lasha Gugliani, who was most improved last year, and he was fun for the New York City Attitude.
Well, opportunistic. He scored a few knockdowns for them in moments where they needed one to turn fights around or to seal victory. He was pretty much Mr. Clutch for them.
Yes, he was. Whenever you needed points, he was there for you. The 35-year-old from the Republic of Georgia, now living in Brooklyn, New York. And he got quality rounds last year, too. 18-7 record in TBL for Lasha. He was that fighter for Coach Ryan O'Leary and Benny Roman, where if the other team was going on a run and Lasha was up, he ended it.
He did. He was a stopper for them when they needed it. He would score knockdowns. Late in fights, they had a lot of different places they could deploy him. But he was pretty much often a man for the moment for this team.
And Lasha, away from TBL, has a record of 20-6, 9 stoppages. But since 2023, he's been fighting TBL. Taking advantage of what Team Boxing League does for these fighters. Opportunity and work.
Well, it can give you something beyond here, but it's also good for here. It's a place where you can find a home, get comfortable with this format, and get better at it, especially in a league that is growing.
Well, Philadelphia, too, has fighters making their debut for Team Boxing League. 4 fighters in the launch round are making their debuts in TBL.
Well, a lot of turnover. You're bringing in new talent. Early in the year, you try this. You see who's going to prove themselves. Philly thinking they'll be there at the end one way or another. So this is the season, a time for people to step up and to grow. And we're going to enjoy watching that evolution.
You see it too with these fighters. They don't quite know what they're getting themselves into. And then midway through the season, once they get their groove, oh, watch out for them.
They look back at the replays of what they did. They get a sense of, okay, here I have to make my move. I had a chance here. I didn't do it. Next time I will. There's the action from the last round with Lasha straight ahead, pounding, looking for the big overhand left all the way from New York. And there he got one. No cheap punches with him. Malicious intent with everything. That might be a good nickname for him. Mr. Malicious. Doesn't just throw a jab.
The winner of this round by a score of 1-0 in the blue corner for the NYC Attitude, Lasha Gugliani. NYC leads 7-3. Round 8 is in the heavyweight division. In the red corner for the Philly Smoke, 2-time national champion and Olympic trialist, Stephen Whoop Williams. In the blue corner for the NYC Attitude, Serbian national champion and silver medalist at the 2024 European Championships, Dusan Vuletic.
The heavyweight division in TBL is always fun, because one punch can change things. But Dave Bontempo, now with the new structure, of the way the fights are scored in TBL. You get a point for the win, but you get rewarded for the knockdowns. And if there's a KO, oh boy, can things change around quick.
Last year's 10-7 is this year's 4-0 if you get 3 knockdowns on the way to do it. So we've already seen it play out in 1 round in this fight. The earlier Sempo fight.
The TBL debut for Stephen Williams, a 30-year-old from Chester, Pennsylvania. And what a story for Stephen. He, 2-time national champion, went to the Olympic trials, silver medalist, came up short. Has fought international, bronze medalist. He was an alternate in 2024. But Dave, the most important fight of his life, stage 4 cancer survivor. He says, I got into boxing late, but I'm here to prove it's never too late to chase your dreams.
Tell you what, you get a totally different lease on life if it's threatened, and then you can get it back. And it's a beautiful thing to have been able to get past that.
And Dusan for New York City. You look at him and like, huh, this is a tall fighter in the heavyweight division. The second round for TBL action. We saw him late in the season of season 3. Won his round that he fought for them from Serbia, 6'5".
Pretty light on his feet and pretty powerful too.
All of his pro fights have been in Germany except for the TBL. So he's 9-1-1 outside of TBL action. And fighting here in the United States. But he keeps that left hand really low. Pawing at it with that jab in the white trunks for the New York City attitude. Overhand right from Dusan. Veletic. Back and forth, timing each other.
But he has thrown a lot of good right hands.
Look how low he keeps his hands down, Dusan. Asking for somebody to try to set him up. And Dusan is going to have a hand full in the money rounds when he takes on Conja Nathan, who throws nothing but bombs. How many shots landed here in round number 8? Final seconds and the final launch round. See how the judges have this one between the heavyweights. So Dusan from Serbia, but now training in Chicago, and now representing the New York City attitude. Hug between he and Stephen Williams.
It's a good set of launch rounds for this New York team. That's a pretty polished heavyweight to come out. He'll try to give his team a commanding lead at the break.
The winner of this round by the score of 1-0. In the blue corner for the NYC attitude, Dusan Veletic. Our current score, NYC 8, Philly 3.
And 4 of those came in fight number 4. So we saw the power and the reward of power that came with Zempo. Zempo with 3 knockdowns in the first round, only round, putting it up for New York, and that is highly responsible for that lead.
Round 10. And seeing some good action right now, but this weekend is going to get even hotter. Saturday night in LA, the LA Elite are home against the Las Vegas Hustle. They have a good rivalry. A lot of fighters know each other. A lot of them sparred each other in the past, so they're going to go back and forth. Sunday night is going to be a good one. Texas showdown. Houston Hitmen taking on the San Antonio Snipers. Now, those two teams, they know each other very, very well. A lot of the fighters know each other from their amateur days, and whenever they get locked up, you got to watch out. So it's a busy weekend of boxing right here at TBL, Team Boxing League. Oh, what an opening week we're having. Season 4 of Team Boxing League is here. We're in Philadelphia, and right now the home team, the Smoke, is down 8-3 to the reigning champion New York City Attitude Veteran alongside Dave Bontempo. Dave, there was one round that really stood out, and the reason New York has a lead.
That's right. Zempo with the 4-pointer for his team, beating Francisco Rodriguez. We called it the round to watch, and it certainly was because it was the pivotal round in the launch round. 4 points for that team and a big win in the launch rounds for New York.
Yeah, Ryan Zempo he came out super aggressive. We know he has heavy hands, but Dave, the knockdowns came early.
Yeah, that was the left hook. The right hand was in there too. He landed a big shot and had the instincts to take over and finish it off. That's a veteran fighter knowing how to jump on an opponent.
Knocking him down 3 times. Referee jumped in, a TKO victory for Ryan Zempo, and he's the big reason that New York City has an 8-3 lead after the launch rounds. Also, his sister got a victory to start the night off, so it's a family affair for the Zempo-Takers. Now, we're in the middle rounds, Dave. Which one are we looking for?
Well, Rashida Ellis, right off the bat for Philadelphia. Not only has she been a very stylish boxer and very dependable for Philadelphia all last season, now she's got the pressure to get on the board early for Philadelphia. She has been one of their stalwarts, and they need her to do it again.
She's a perfect 16-0 in Team Boxing League action. Let's go ringside in Philly with a Smoker trying to play catch-up.
Fans, after 8 rounds, our score, the NYC Attitude 8, the Philly Smoke 3. We'd like to thank our sponsors, Climax Moonshine Fire number 32, Balance of Nature, Serenity Springs Recovery Center. And don't forget, you can stream all TBL action on the Team Boxing League app. The middle rounds are coming up now. Fans, you can stream every moment of TBL Season 4 live on the Team Boxing League app, available on Apple TV 4K, Roku, and Amazon Fire TV, as well as iPhone and Android devices. devices. Don't miss a second of TBL Team Boxing League action. Download the Team Boxing League app today. Round 9 is in the 126-pound division. In the red corner for the Philly Smoke, multi-time national champion and 2020 U.S. Olympian, Shaquilla Ellis. In the blue corner for the NYC Attitude, Abril Mulan Anguiano.
Would want to have her on their team.
Yeah, she has been a great performer. Coming from Boston and then over to here, one of the great imports for Philadelphia. Both teams stacked up well in the offseason.
Yeah, finding family. Yep. And Abril Anguiano. Let's see who she is, this young fighter from the Texas area. Started martial arts at the age of 7. She's a boxer and an MMA fighter. She won one of those regional belts recently, and she turned pro. Garland, Texas, where she lives at, so she'll switch to southpaw with you. Equal rights MMA, equal parts boxing, and away from TBL, she's 4-1 with a knockout. And her last boxing match was in Las Vegas, where she went 6 rounds, lost the majority decision on a big card at the T-Mobile Arena for Anguiano. I actually saw Rashida Ellis make her first fight away from TBL last year. She fought in Los Angeles in October and came out electric, Dave. Of course she put on a show.
And you know, the great boxing skills that she has carried over in so many different ways. And if you're going against her coming into the TBL, you're going against a fighter who makes that ring look very big.
They gave her an opponent for Rashida Ellis who had 45 professional fights, because nobody with minimal fights will want to take her. It was so hard to find her an opponent.
Why should we give up that point? We'll look for something else.
And she comes out aggressive. She's so much fun to watch, is Rashida Ellis. Shaquilla Quante Ellis.
Wondering if any of these Philly fighters at some point will start to get a little greedy and maybe a little more aggressive than normal, trying to find some thunder and close this gap and to go beyond the 1 point. That was one of the things about Philly last year. They were a very good team, but a boxing team, not the power team.
Anguiano's game, but it's the experience that Rashida Ellis has. Lands a shot, gets out. It's very hard to land anything flush on Rashida Ellis. And these two will do it again in the money rounds in round 22. Dave, not too often do I highlight who won a round because I wait for the judges, but this one, that's Rashida Ellis.
I think we can put our stamp on that.
All right. If I got the Bon Tempo approval, I'll do it.
And just like Rasheen Brown, Ellis, elusive everywhere and nowhere. Stay outside, hit you, can't find her. And that's the beautiful intangible of that hand and foot speed.
The winner of this round by a score of 1-0. In the red corner for the Philly Smoke, Shaquilla Ellis. After 9 rounds, NYC leads 8-4. This round brought to you by Climax Moonshine Fire number 32, known to bring the heat. Round 10 is in our 135-pound division. In the red corner for the Philly Smoke, Angel the chosen one, Hernandez. In the blue corner for the NYC Attitude, Puerto Rican national champion, Jose Andrea Diaz Rodriguez.
Now this is a good one. Angel Hernandez representing Philly. Jose Adrian Diaz Rodriguez for the New York City Attitude. And you're going to see Rodriguez, the southpaw stance. He will wing punches like no other with bad intentions. You know who else has bad intentions? The Philadelphia Smoke, as one of the fighters standing by with Lady Law.
All right, I am here with Steve Cunningham Jr., who was able to make something big happen for his team. Are you happy with your performance tonight?
Super happy. I'm just ready to go better. Yep.
Yeah, I saw you had some post-fight dance moves. Is that also genetics like boxing, or is that all you?
Nah, that's genetics. We're a goofy bunch. I'll say that.
And for those watching and are new to Team Boxing League, you are fighting alongside your father tonight. Are you feeling a little LeBron, Bronny type situation tonight?
For sure. It's like Goku and Gohan, you know. It's like, I got to do good. I have to. I know I'm watching.
We're all rooting for you both tonight. Congratulations to you on your performance. Back to Dave and Beto in studio.
Thank y'all.
Goku and Gohan Dave from Dragon Balls. I know you're up to date on that.
But of course, you love these references, and father and son. And they egg each other on.
And I love that Steve Cunningham is not fighting until the money rounds, but he keeps the mouthpiece ready.
And you've got SS Cunningham and Tugboat. He had to come up with his own nickname, not to get too close to his father, but to play off it a little.
Angel Hernandez, the chosen one for Philly. Born in Indiana, he trains now in Tampa, Florida. Over 100 amateur fights. He's 4-0 with 4 stoppages away from the Team Boxing League action. And for Jose Rodriguez from Barranquitas, Puerto Rico, the fighter for the New York City Attitude. 23 years old. Waddle is his nickname.
This is high energy, high intensity. These guys may both feel after it's over, we're just getting started.
The thing with Rodriguez, Dave, every single punch, he's just trying to knock you out.
And if you can adjust to that, knowing that it could be a high arc on some of his punches, there may be a little bit of a hitch as he rears back. You can time that and try to beat him on the inside if you get that sense.
So Hernandez able to slip a right hand in there, countering. A good left hook landed by Rodriguez, and Hernandez countering back. If they're going to rule a knockdown?
Looks like they are.
The referee saying that the glove touched. Okay.
And that's huge because he was being dominant.
Rodriguez got wild and his glove touched, and he counters the right hook. But it's going to be a point for the Philadelphia Smoke because of that knockdown. That's huge.
We just talked about how the big delivery, wind up big. If somehow you can find a way to get inside of that, you might steal something. Big wind up, quick shot. Knockdown call.
I don't know.
Let's see. Oh,
he's close. Referee jumped right on it. Regardless, it was ruled a knockdown. Will Philadelphia get another point for the win?
The winner of this round by the score of 2-0 in the red corner for the Philly Smoke, Angel, the chosen one, Hernandez.
big moment for Philly.
NYC leads 8-6. Round 11 is in the 140-pound division. In the red corner for the Philly Smoke, multi-time national champion, Team USA member, and Olympic trialist, Stasia, the Natural Sotos. In the blue corner for the NYC USA Attitude, Florencia Britos.
Stacia Suttles fighting for the Philadelphia Smoke, who are now down 8-6. They were down 8-3 at the end of the launch rounds. And if you want a fighter on your side, it's Stacia Suttles. She comes in with swagger, with attitude, and experience. Stacia's all about Team Boxing League. She's 15-2 in Team Boxing League action. The fighter who was born in the Bronx, but now living in Philly.
And hooking up with trainer Eric Harding. So that's a big part of her move. And right now, if you're Philly, you're so glad that you made this off-season acquisition to get her, because this is a perfect spot to take advantage of one of the top fighters in the entire female circuit for TBL. Deceptive power, crunching.
Suttles been a veteran of TCL. There you see the accolades for her. Longtime member of Team USA. Went to the trials twice, came up short, though, to go to the Olympics. National, international medalist. 25 years of martial arts experience, just everything you want. A pro's pro, as they would say.
And interesting, she says, I want to make my younger self proud. How about that for some insight on a mission all the time?
The Natural is her nickname. A black belt in Taekwondo to go along with all the boxing experience. She can walk down any street, huh? Philly, New York, it don't matter.
Don't give her any trouble.
Flo Britos. But in the white is always game, tough. Flo's got 29 rounds of action in TBL.
She's against a fighter here with Stacia, who is one of the more interesting studies, because we thought we would see, as heavy-handed a puncher as she is, we thought we might see more stoppages for her or knockdowns last year. She is somebody that Philly can bring in to get multiple points. And there you go.
There's that knockdown. You talked about it, and it happened, Dave. Suttles attacking Flo. So there's an extra point for Philadelphia as they're climbing back into this match. The opening weekend of season 4.
So she comes up big right away and even tries to get more of it, but she's made an immediate impact for this Philly team.
You score in a TBL for season 4, you get a point for winning the round, and you get bonus points for a knockdown. And it looks like Philly is going to get 2 points right now. And could we have a tie match?
She brought them all the way back. They were down big after the stoppage in the launch round, but there's some money coming from Stacia. Terrific hook, gets her opponent moving back, keeps coming forward, and just good straight power left hand. Talked about her being heavy-handed. She can knock you down with what you might think would ordinarily be a rangefinder type punch.
The winner of this round by the score of 2-0 in the red corner for the Philly Smoke, Stacia the Natural Suttles. After 11 rounds, we are tied at 8. Fans, champions don't just train hard, they train consistently. Balance of Nature's Guiltless Snacks help support energy, recovery, and performance. Go to balanceofnature.com and use code FIGHT to get 35% off your first order. Round 12 is in the 147-pound division. In the red corner for the Philly Smoke, Naheem No Mercy Jones. In the blue corner
We are tied at 8, thanks to back-to-back rounds where the Philly Smoke get knockdowns, which gives them a bonus point. At the end of the launch rounds, New York City was up 8-3. And after that, the middle rounds have been nothing but Philly. Rashida Ellis, a victory. Angel Hernandez, 2. Stacia Shuttles, 2. And Dave Bontempo, oh, the night has changed.
Yes, from 8-3 all the way back. You're Philly, you're so glad you brought her in. It's like you sign a big slugger in baseball. First game, guy comes in and hits a bomb. And that's what Stacia Shuttles did to electrify the Philly team. And so we're back even again and just getting started.
Just like you expected, Philly's never going to back away. Their coach, Bob Kane, has them locked in all 24 rounds. And it's up to Najim Johns to see if he can give the Smoke the lead as they've trailed the entire night. Johns, born and raised in West Philadelphia. He's 2-0 in TCL action. Call him the knockout artist, Najim No Mercy Johns. Away from TCL, he's 5-1 with 4 stoppages. And we saw Adonis Wilkins earlier. Wilkins lost around to Isaiah Johnson in the launch round. I think Wilkins now has figured out what TBL is all about.
See how animated the Philly crowd now is with their team back in it. Philly Smoke chant.
Southpaw is Johns in the black and white. New York City going with the white trunks tonight. Make sure you follow all of the TBL social media accounts, the YouTube page for great behind-the-scenes coverage, exclusive interviews, and weigh-in footage, and also just go to the camps to see what the teams are all about. And also keep you updated on the schedule every single week. You can feel the pressure and the intensity ramping up, Dave Bontempo.
You really can, with Philly having made that surge and the fighters pick up on it. You see the vibe with them all together and the pressure on both of these fighters for Philly to continue and for New York to be the stopper.
Let's see how the judges have round number 12 scored. Well, No Mercy's feeling good.
They both thought they came out of it with the win. That's how close you know this was.
The winner of this round by a score of 1-0. Out of the blue corner for the NYC Attitude, Adonis Wilkins. New York leads 9-8.
Adonis Wilkins gets the first win of the middle rounds for New York City. They're back on top, 9-8. Round 13 coming your way of Season 4 Team Boxing League. Season 4 of Team Boxing League. We get going opening weekend in Philadelphia. The reigning champion New York City Attitude with a 9-8 lead. We're at the Fillmore in Philly.
Round 13 is in the 168-pound division. In the red corner for the Philly Smoke, Zaire, the Punisher, Jefferson. In the blue corner for the NYC Attitude, Brian Polacco.
Two fighters making their TBL debut. Brian Polacco for the New York City Attitude in the white trunks, the southpaw. From Puerto Rico, he was born in San Juan, now living in Las Vegas. As a pro, he's 7-1 with 5 stoppages. Zaire Jefferson from Philly, a 26-year-old. As a pro, is 4-0. He has 1 KO. And this is what TBL is all about, giving young fighters an opportunity, Dave, to get exposure.
And get themselves a chance to be noticed, get a good training routine, get around fighters, get around promoters, getting around executives, other people. Just get yourself out there.
I like this matchup. Two fighters making their debut in TBL because neither of them has that, what am I getting myself into, what's going on. In the middle rounds, they've seen what their teammates are doing. They see what's on the line with New York up 9-8. These guys got to bring it.
Got to bring it, and they've had a chance to watch a few. So that's good. We're seeing Polacco already landed a stiff right hand, kind of stunned his opponent. Then you get the tying up. So these are guys are two veterans of the fight game, perhaps, and then they have to figure out a way to channel into here. Now, we talked to a lot of different fighters about how you approach 3 minutes. Some say all out. Some say, I think you should break it up into 3 one-minute rounds. Try to win 1 minute, then try to, if you can win 2 of the 3 minutes, you'll get there. So there are a lot of philosophies that fighters follow. It's good to know which one you want when you commit.
Polacco actually fought on a big card. Remember Rafa Espinosa, the 126-pound champion from Mexico? He fought on that card of the Fountain Blue in Las Vegas a couple of years ago. Been plying his trade in the South Florida club scene. And for same as Zaire Jefferson, fighting his way around Philadelphia, Chesterfield, Philadelphia, at the Harrah's in Philly. You know those spots, Dave.
Oh, yeah.
You got to fight your way out of there.
You do. You don't get out of there easy, but if you do, you feel like you can make it any place.
And right now they're in TBL action. There is no feeling out round. There is no, okay, jab a couple of times. No. You got to bring it. Uppercut from Jefferson. Polacco, slip and move in the white.
It's revealing to the fighters after their first time. There's a good right hand. Philly on the verge of points.
Could they do enough to tie it up? Good hook again by Jefferson. Good action, good action. Welcome to Team Boxing League, fellas. That's how you make a debut.
Polacco early, Jefferson late. Opportunities. And that opened itself up, Jefferson, to a real nice right hand right there. That's when he made his opponent shift. But not enough time in the one-round fight.
The winner of this round, by a score of 1-0, out of the blue corner, NYC Attitude, Brian Polacco. NYC leads 10-8. This round brought to you by Serenity Springs Recovery Center, a place of recovery and self-discovery. Round 14 is in the 175-pound division. In the red corner for the Philly Smoke, former USPA, NABO, and NABF champion, Jesse Hard Work Hard. In the blue corner for the NYC Attitude, Pennsylvania Golden Gloves champion, Rancy Slinger.
Let's go, Jesse!
Jesse Hart, the veteran, the epitome of a Philly fighter for the team boxing league squad, coming off a majority decision, a loss against Khalil Cole. And that was another one. He got robbed in that one at the Fontainebleau in Las Vegas. Right now, the veteran taking on Rancy Slinger as New York City has a 2-point lead. For one of the fighters who's going to try to get Philly back in the mix is standing by with Lady Law.
I am here with accomplished boxer Stacia Suttles, and unlike all the other boxing you're familiar with, TBL is different in that you're playing on a team. How does it feel to bring your team up the way you did and just change the trajectory of tonight?
I mean, it feels good. I just go in there and do my thing. You know, I was on the New York team last year, so it does feel a little bit weird going against my team that I had last year, but at the end of the day, I'm just going to go in there and do my thing.
And you definitely did. I know one thing you had mentioned in your bio is that you wanted to make your younger self proud. Do you feel proud tonight?
Yeah, definitely. Every day I wake up and I'm just proud of myself, and I know that my younger self would be very happy with where I am right now.
Before I give it back to the guys in studio, who owes you dinner on the team tonight for bringing in these points like you did?
Oh man, I think Coach Bob owes me dinner for sure.
Get something good. Thank you guys. Back to you, David Bethel.
All right, they might owe her dinner, but they going to see her in the final round of the Monday round. There might be some dessert coming the way too.
Yeah, that's a great thing to have if you're Philly, knowing that if you keep this close, that you are in it, and that she could be in the lineup to try to propel you over the top.
And her current self should be proud of herself, for Stacia as the reigning champion with the New York City Attitude, but a new squad with Philly, and the Smoke down by 2 as Jesse Hart trying to tie it up. Jesse Hart unloading the right hand and an uppercut. The veteran 36-year-old Jesse Hart, a hook now landed.
Well, he's the guy that, when you look at this match and you're the coach, you're slated a W before he starts. So it's imperative for Philly that he gets that, and you toss in the possible greed factor. Bonus points. Yeah, he's an accomplished boxer. Can he gamble a little bit more tonight, as Stacia Suttles did in picking up 2?
As Gordon Gekko said, greed is good. I know it's an old reference, Dave, but right now in boxing, if you can get the knockdown, that's good. A couple of knockdowns, real good. And if you can get that TKO like Ryan Zepelteka did early on, that was real good. Jesse Hart looking sweet.
Well, the first thing you have to do is do enough to wrap up the 1 point that you were expected to get, and then you can unload and try for more if you sense the opportunity.
And Jesse Hart was talking about how TBL has helped him in his professional career, keeping active, staying in the gym. And you saw in his last fight how he was a much more physical fighter against Khalil Cole. But tonight, he brought that physical attitude against Rancy Slinger.
He went right to the attack, made sure he got at least 1, and kept trying for 2. That good tight left hook at the end was one of his best shots. Just not enough to get over the top, but he did what they brought him here for, at least to get them the 1 point.
The winner of this round by the score of 1-0, out of the red corner for the Philly Smoke, Jesse Hard Work Hard. NYC leads 10-9. Round 15 is in the Cruiserweight division. Out of the red corner for the Philly Smoke, former 2-time world champion, In the blue corner for the NYC Attitude, Tully Tessie Goliath Ice.
All right, round number 15 in the middle rounds. Bethel Durant alongside Dave Bontempo having a lot of fun. Opening night of season 4 of the Boxing League from Philadelphia. This is a good one. Steve Cunningham Sr., USS Cunningham, the veteran, and Tessie Tully from the Ivory Coast. I love his story. He was undefeated in Africa. He trains with the cops and kids and Andre Rozier and Coach Lorick, helping the kids. He started boxing when he was 17 years old. Came to sport late, but has made up for it. And the opportunity that's given to him, not just in Ivory Coast, but in the United States. And, of course, a mega brawl champion in 2025. And his opponent, Steve Cunningham Sr. He's been around. Yes, he's 49, but the body of a 29-year-old. Former two-time Cruiserweight champion, USBA heavyweight champion, Marco Huck, Tyson Fury. Yes, those names. And he's earned the USS because he was on the USS America and Enterprise. Thank you for your service, Senior.
And we were doing all those fights when he was back in his late 20s and early 30s. We had no idea there would be an outlet for him at age 49, and he's come in and just enjoyed it. Basically, it's boxing bonus time for him. And he brings a veteran experience, so many different looks. He's been a champion, so you have all that going in. And he switches over here from right-handed to a southpaw style to try to set up something different.
But it's not just what he does in the ring, Dave. It's what Senior does outside. I mean, Jackson Hart is the savvy vet at 36, but he's a pup compared to Cunningham because he trains these kids mentally. He shows them, look, I've been to the top of the sport. You can get there too, but this is how you have to do it.
Yeah, it's a big edge. Kind of like a player coach.
Yeah, that's it.
Basically, he can help the other fighters along and still enjoy the cameo world of fighting.
You and I both been in gyms where you have that old man in there just talking and telling stories. You're like, man, you don't know what you're talking about. No, Cunningham walks in, you're listening to every word. Also, remember, he had the fight against Antonio Tarver that was split decision, a split draw, I'm sorry. Amir Mansour, Thomas Adamek. I mean, so many fighters over the years.
He's the one guy whose stories don't get bigger as he gets older.
They get better. Remember he fought in Poland against Krzysztof Wladarczyk a couple times that he went at it.
Trading some big shots. These guys have had a good final minute.
No, no. Good 15th round. Over the Cruiserweights. What was it, like 2% body fat on Steve?
If that. Take a look at the highlights from that last round. Took a shot there. Now, hurt him. Looked like it was not quite in the scoring range. Earlier, he's feeling
right hand.
The pressure. The young gun was coming at him.
And that's where Tully had to do it right there. Come and bring him, knock it down.
This round by a score of 1-0. Out of the blue corner for the NYC Attitude, Tully Tessie Goliath Ice.
Steve Cunningham was expecting that.
11-9. Round 16 is in the heavyweight division. In the red corner for the Philly Smoke, New York Golden Gloves champion, Kanja Don't Blink Nathan. In the blue corner for the NYC Attitude, former NCAA All-American and NFL veteran, Michael Bonero.
The final round of the middle rounds, and New York has a lead Conja Nathan. You know how much I love watching Conja Nathan, because one punch can change everything with him, and he has bad intentions with those big swings. He has 4 stoppages in TBL action, and Michael Bamiro making his professional boxing debut, the 6'7" former offensive lineman in the NFL. He was with the Eagles, the Giants, also played in Canada with the Montreal Alouettes. He's 35 years old. And we've seen former athletes come into boxing, but they don't ever get Conja Nathan as the first time ever in the ring.
No, and the big question is going to be, what about his chin? Never been hit. He's in a different place. So what happens when he gets hit? We're going to find out, as Mr. Unpredictable, Conja Nathan will try to drop a bomb in there.
Hey, he's been training for 6 years, has Bamiro. But you're getting Conja Nathan, who has 29 rounds of TCL action. Mr. Don't Blink.
Well, and what he's doing is he's fighting an opponent who's just trying to tie him up. So for Nathan, keep on being aggressive, try to impress the judges with that aggression, and then see if you can get to a spot where you can drop a big shot home.
6'7" against 6 foot right now.
Now that's intimidating when you have 2 boxers with the same experience. When you don't, now that smaller fighter is going to be braver.
But we've seen Conja, usually he's the shorter fighter in that ring against the heavyweights. And do not let Conja land anything flush. There's power in there. There's that quick right hand from Conja. So easy to use the cliche, the bigger they are,
yeah, the harder they fall. And
what's the other cliche? Chop a tree.
Chop a tree. Well, especially here. Now you've got a non-classical fighter. So if you're Conja Nathan, usually, if I can just get one, maybe. But he's in the final minute.
But Dave, Philly's only down by 2. If Nathan can somehow get a knockdown or a stoppage, it changes the way we go into the money rounds.
Well, even if he gets a decision, they will have taken a 5-point deficit and cut it to 1 to put themselves in excellent position into the money round. So that's his minimum. Bamiro's finding out this is a lot harder than the NFL.
Part of the Stony Brook from the Poconos. Here's Bamiro, and he's making his TBL debut.
And Nathan did get him, and he shook him, but too late.
We'll see Conja again in the money rounds.
So you've got the big fighter and the bomb that tested his chin. Nathan wanted to do that a lot. He did it at the end. I talked about, what about the chin of the former NFL player? Nathan tested it, but late.
The winner of this round, by the score of 1-0, out of the red corner, for the Philly Smoke, Conja Don't Blink Nathan. After 16 rounds, NYC leads 11-10.
Great job by Philadelphia getting back into the mix. They were down by 5, 8-3, a solid middle round action thanks to Stacia Suttles and Angel Hernandez. And now the lead is down to 1. New York still on top, 11-10 on TBL. In Philly, where they say fly, eagle, fly. Tonight, the Smoker trying to fly against the defending champion, New York City Attitude, who have a slim 1-point lead. Beth Durant alongside Dave Bontempo. Thank you for joining us wherever you may be. Dave, we're done with the launch rounds. We're done with the middle rounds. Now it's time for the money rounds. But before we get to that middle round section for Philadelphia was so good and very important thanks to some knockdowns.
That's right, and it started out in round number 10 and then down in 11, 2 consecutive rounds where they got to 2 points, starting with Angel Hernandez. Now remember, at this point, Philly is trailing 8-4 after the Rashida Ellis victory, and he continues their dominance in the middle rounds with that glove. This is really, it's a 2-point swing because he was being outpointed, drops the bomb, wins it, and that made it 8-6. And then Stacia Suttle said, hey, I think I might be able to bring this team all the way back. They brought her in for power. How do you like that? A double as she unloads the bomb, the former New York fighter, against her old team with her new team, brought Philly back to 11-11, and they've gone back and forth since then.
And it's really, really good. All right, Dave, money rounds. Obviously, everyone's important, but there's got to be one that sticks out.
That's right, and it's going to be deja vu because it's Stacia Suttle. You saw her.
Oh, yeah.
You saw what she did. Now you're going to see what she tries to do in the final round of this fight. She is set up for number 24, the final fight of the night. So if you're Philly saying, please, let's just be close when Stacia goes in there.
You want to make sure that you get some knockdowns because that'll spread it out. But right now, New York on top of Philadelphia by 1. Let's go to the Fillmore in Philly. It's time for the money rounds.
Fight fans, after 16 rounds, our score, the NYC Attitude 11, the Philly Smoke 10. We'd like to thank our sponsors this evening, Climax Moonshine Fire number 32, Balance of Nature, Serenity Springs Recovery Center. Fans, it's time for the money rounds. Don't forget, you can stream every moment of TBL Season 4 live on the Team Boxing League app, available on Apple TV 4K, Roku, and Amazon Fire TV, as well as iPhone and Android devices. Don't miss a second of TBL Team Boxing League action. Download the Team Boxing League app today. Round 17 is in the 154-pound division. In the red corner for the Philly Smoke, Steve Tugboat Cunningham Jr. In the blue corner for the NYC Attitude, 8-time Puerto Rican national champion, Ryan Pretty Boy Pino.
Money round action. This is where you set where you feel the best matchups are going to be. New York going with Ryan Pino, who lost in the launch round to Steve Cunningham Jr., but it was a quick and close fight.
And this is the part of the program where the coaches have all the influence. They mix and match, and they try to set up weight classes to go against their opponents, and they try to set it up where they think they have a strength. So this is a lot of the scouting report. This is not just your best fighters. This is where you think you have an edge over their weaker fighters.
New York got off to a quick start. They were up 8-3 in the launch round. Middle rounds, Philly came back, but New York still on top, 11-10. New York has not trailed at all tonight. And you see Cunningham out aggressive, but he leaves his hands down, Dave. Yeah, that could be dangerous.
And part of that could be the moment. You're anxious to help your team. You're anxious to make it even. Pino has a very sneaky right hand, and it's therefore lead right hand against the lefty, a good weapon. So is the double left hook. You try to keep your lead foot outside, lead foot of your opponent. Right now we've got Pino doing a good job playing off of those keys.
These fighters have been here, done that. They know what the money rounds are all about. New York in the white. Pino briefly stuns Cunningham, but instead of jumping on him, he starts dancing.
Perhaps Cunningham thought that Pino was trying to con him.
This is how you start season 4. Defending champion New York City attitude. Against Philadelphia Smoke, who many thought were going to be the winner last year.
They were still buzzing about that at the Combine in January in Atlantic City. The Philly fighters were there, and we thought we had it. We can't believe it.
Pino getting in and out the Puerto Rican in white. Looking smooth here in round number 17.
Good counter shot there with the left hook. And then retreating to the rope strategically.
12 teams in Team Boxing League. You can pick an East Coast team, you can pick a West Coast team. As long as you support, because all weekend long there's going to be fights for you.
You get a look at each circuit. Big East Coast circuit, big Texas circuit, big West Coast circuit.
You better make sure that he has his round one the way he should, buddy. And that is rule of the knockdown. Pino, not only is he going to get the win for the round, but he gets points for the knockdown.
At the end of it,
Cunningham saying he slipped. Our replays will show you if he slipped or if he got knocked down.
all right, key moment. He gets hit. Good right hand. That's legit.
That's a punch thrown, right?
That's a punch landed in the middle. Good uppercut.
That's a punch. That's a knockdown. Good job by the referee jumping on it.
Opportunism.
Pino was feeling himself that round, and he closed it strong.
And he makes the point with the referee. Hey, count that. We've had
Score of 2-0. Out of the blue corner for the NYC Attitude, Ryan Pretty Boy Pino. NYC leads 13-10. This round brought to you by Climax Moonshine Fire number 32, known to bring the heat. Round 18 is in the 175-pound division. In the red corner for the Philly Smoke, former USPA, NABO, and NABF champion, Jesse Hard Work Hard. In the blue corner for the NYC Attitude, Pennsylvania Golden Gloves champion, Rancy Slinger.
All right, Philly down by 3 thanks to the knockdown of Ryan Pino. And if there's anybody who knows the importance of being the team that's chasing, it's Jesse Hart. I expected him to come out really aggressive against Slinger.
He did the same thing when they fought back in the middle rounds. Pressure on him. Must win now. Try to bring it back to 2 or less. He's been a stylistic fighter in this league, not really a power fighter. You can ink in the W. The question is, did he give them more?
There's that right hand.
He's trying to.
There's that power you're asking for. Uppercut, and it is over. Jesse Hart has stepped up huge for the Philly Smoke. Don't you dare question his power, Dave Von Temple.
Hey.
He heard you.
That's his biggest moment in TBL, and they wanted him to open up, talking about looking to see if he would take that chance. And there it is. Chance to get more. Talk about getting greedy.
Wow.
He got greedy.
He was out cold on his feet. The ropes held him up. Holy smokes, what a shot by Steve Cunningham. I mean, Jesse Hart. To the much excitement of the Cunningham family.
43 seconds for the winner by TKO. Out of the red corner for the Philly Smoke, Jesse Hard Work Hard. That is a 4-0 round. After 18 rounds, Philly leads 14-13.
The big fighters are coming up big. Jesse Hart, a huge development for Philly. Statius Suttles, 2 points for Philly.
Round 19 is in the 160-pound division. In the red corner for the Philly Smoke, Jerome Jabalova, Mr. Do Damage McNeil. In the blue corner for the NYC Attitude, former WBF champion and 2025 TBL Most Improved Boxer, Lasha Gerguliani.
What a turnaround. Philly was down 3. Jesse Hart said, nah, let me give you the lead. 4 points for Philly thanks to Jesse Hart's TKO, and they're up 14-13. Lady Law is one of the fans of Philly. Lady Law, who are you with?
I am here with Nahir, who opened tonight's excitement by singing the national anthem. So I had to ask you, what's more smooth, your voice outside of the ring or your moves inside of the ring?
I don't know. It's depending on the night, I guess. Whichever suit I feel like wearing.
Now, you do have a TBL record because you're currently on the Philly Smoke with 15-4, but you also have a pro record of 17-2. What can you tell us about your upcoming fight?
Yeah, I'm back May 29th in Newark at the Prudential Center. I don't have an opponent at the moment, but it's going to be something big. I've been training and I'm ready.
We're looking forward to seeing those display of skills. Thank you for taking the time out with us to hear.
No problem. Thank you.
Back to you guys.
Yeah, he put on a show in Vegas. Now he's trying to put on a show in Newark. Good for Albright, but right now it's Philadelphia on top, 14-13. And Lasha Gerguliani for the New York City Attitude is the perfect fighter to have in there.
Yeah, he's come up big for them in clutch moments all of last year, and now he comes up for New York when they're trailing for the first time.
The first time that Ryan O'Leary and Benny Roman's New York City Attitude are behind on the cards. Thanks to everybody watching from around the world, from around the country, wherever you may be. Make sure you follow the Team Boxing League social media accounts. Also follow the YouTube page. Subscribe. And if you want to watch, you can get involved with the live chat that we got going on. And right now, Lasha Gerguliani, he's rugged, he's tough, and he gets after you.
He's a big punch guy. You try to get inside of him, take advantage of how wide his shots are. And that's how you go about it with him.
Lasha won their matchup in round 7. Lasha is cut on the left eyebrow. I don't know if it was from a punch or a clash. First time we've seen blood tonight.
Yeah.
We've seen knockdowns. First time we've seen the blood.
It hasn't slowed either of these guys down. For Lasha, let's keep fighting right through it. That's a stiff jab that he's being hit with. Slicing jab, and he takes that and loads up.
Right hand from Lasha. right at the end. Is that enough to win the round? When the round's over, he got so loud so the Fillmore couldn't even hear the bell. That's a tough dude right there. That is a tough dude from the Republic of Georgia.
And he'll be lobbying to fight again soon. Lands a big right hook. Despite what's happening with his eye, getting sliced up, landing big punches, putting everything out right to the final second. This was a great fight to watch.
So how will round number 19 get scored?
Eye's a good example of the good work McNeil did.
The winner of this round by the score of 1-0, out of the blue corner for the NYC Attitude, Lasha Guguliani.
Well, he earned that one.
All right, we're tied up.
We are tied at 14. Fans, if you're watching these athletes give everything in the ring, ask yourself, how can you supplement like them? Balance of Nature is offering 35% off tonight only with code FIGHT at balanceofnature.com. Round 28 of the 126-pound division. In the red corner for the Philly Smoke, Rasheen Sugar Sheen Brown. In the blue corner for the NYC Attitude, two-time Golden Gloves champion, current AVO regional champion, Alexander Castellano.
These two ran at it in round number 2, and Rasheen Brown took the decision. He is slick, he is smooth, and he is tough to hit. Is Rasheen Brown, the southpaw for the Philadelphia Smoke, as we're tied at 14 in round number 20. Alexander Castellano looked rattled in round number 2, like he was trying to figure out Sheen, but he was swinging at air. Will it change in round number 20?
Well, you come out, you try to get a faster start, you got to slip that jab, and now it's a key part of the fight. If you are Philly, you love how this lines up coming down the stretch. Here's a guy that's been penciled in for victories most of the time. You've also got Ellis in the lineup. You've also got Stacia Suttles at the end. We have 5 fights left. If you're Philly, you love where you're sitting.
And if you're watching Team Boxing League for the first time and you're saying, wait a minute, didn't I watch these guys earlier? Yes, you did. In TBL, you can fight twice. You have the launch round, the middle round, and the money rounds, and it's up to the coaches to decide which fighters will fight twice. Sometimes you'll have a rematch, sometimes they'll match you up against somebody else, because when you get to the money rounds, it's my guy against your guy. Coaches go back and forth like a draft. So that's the beautiful thing about Team Boxing League, and that's why you follow the social media accounts, because our admins will give you all the information on how it goes down. That's why it's so fun, that's why it's so competitive, and that's why it's nothing but action.
See what Brown's trying to do, negate what's going on inside. Tie him up. If you can score, fine. Not trying to get on the outside. This fight has been more in close than their first one.
This is where, Dave, it's the coaching, the management, the strategy of, okay, who are we going to throw here, who are we going to have here? It's very, very important. And also, which round are we going to put him in? That's why Stacia's settles. His might as well be a lock. Like a young Tyson, where it's like guaranteed they're going to win. That's why she's going around 24, because they're so confident in her.
And that's why, before that, if you're Philadelphia, you're saying, please, put us in a good position when Stacia fights. So they're looking at all these things going back and forth, trying to get the edge in the matchup. And then you have the unexpected that drops the bomb in there. Jessie Hart's 4-point win was seismic within the context of this fight. You're hoping for a little bit of magic from your stars. Philly got it there, and they had the favorite coming in here with Rasheem Brown.
As my buddy Ant-Man is telling me, Rasheem is so calculated. Absolutely. That's how Rasheem Brown looked tonight. Calculated, straight to the point. Ant-Man, great observation. Fillmore in Philadelphia, where we are for our season opener. Saturday in LA, Sunday Houston against San Antonio.
The winner of this round by the score of 1-0. Out of the red corner for the Philly Smoke, Rasheem Brown. Philly leads 15-14.
So that one goes according to the script.
Oh, man. Do not miss the rest of the money round. TBL, Philadelphia been training all night. Now they're on top 15-14. The city of brotherly love. Maybe afterwards to get themselves a cheesesteak. Right now, it's all about getting the W. Philadelphia Smoke on top of the defending champion, New York City Attitude, 15-14. Thanks to Jessie Hart's big TKO that gave them 4 points. Right now, it's time for the heavyweights.
21 is in the heavyweight division. Out of the red corner for the Philly Smoke, New York Golden Gloves champion, Concha Don't Blink Nathan. In the blue corner for the NYC Attitude, Serbian national champion and silver medalist at the 2024 European Championships, Dusan Vlahovic.
Now these two have both won tonight. Concha Nathan defeated Michael Bermiro, who made his boxing debut, and Dusan Vlahovic got the victory over Stephen Williams to close out the launch rounds. The big boys, you know they're looking for one punch, Dave Bontempo, and both these guys have hammer hands.
Yeah, Nathan, we saw it at the end of his first fight, and when he launches the big shot, though, he's coming with a guy who's got a lot of hand speed. Very quick for a big man. You know, Nathan fighting two guys tonight that are taller than he is. First one, as soon as he got that looping shot in, it changed the fight. He tried to get it there.
There's that right hand. Nathan rolled with it. First guy Nathan took on was 6'8". Now we only got 6'5".
Yeah, and the thing is, he can learn a lot from that first matchup. Fight the same kind.
Nailed it with the right hand as Veletich trying to go for the uppercut, left himself exposed. There are no jabs in this round, Dave Bontempo.
Almost illegal the way these guys go about it. Looping up for the big shot. You show the jab to maybe set up something else.
Nathan in the purple of the Philadelphia Smoke will lead by 1.
Nathan trying to time that hook off the jab. But the jab for Veletich at least keeps Nathan away for a second.
So they both have some power. There's a right hand again from Nathan, overhand.
Right over the top of the jab hand. Excellent timing for Nathan.
Look at Dusan feeling himself in that ring.
Nathan going southpaw for a second right after he just landed his big shot. Very interesting because now he is open for the right hand counter. He thought better of that.
Mouthpiece goes flying. Nathan knocking out the mouthpiece of Dusan, Veletich in white.
I'm glad he went back to being right-handed. He's doing his best work there.
And there's the time to get the mouthpiece back in. Round number 21. We go 24 in Team Boxing League. Season 4 of TBL. Southpaw again for Nathan.
Yeah, switches back. I think he's been better as a right-hander. And he'll stick with that to the belt.
That's the thing about TBL. Getting views from all over the world. Somebody's watching you. It's not if you win, it's how you win, Dave. You put on a performance, somebody might call you up.
Opportunity galore. Quite a night for Kanja Nathan, making a bid to be one of the fighters of the night. As he lands the big right hand, he's stuck right with it behind the jab. Jab set up the big right hand. When he went lefty there, not much, but he goes right back to the right hand and stands after that and landed another big shot.
Blood for the mouth of Dusan Veletich. Now, what will the judges favor here? That was a close round.
Nathan goes shots with Nathan.
By the score of 1-0. Out of the red corner for the Philly Smoke, Kanja, don't blink, Nathan. Philly leads 16-14.
They have Ellis, Cunningham.
This round brought to you by Serenity Springs Recovery Center, a place of recovery and self-discovery.
You talk about sitting pretty right now. If you're feeling that.
Round 22 is in the 126-pound division. In the red corner for the Philly Smoke, multi-time national champion and 2020 U.S. Olympian, Shaquille Ellis. Out of the blue corner for the NYC Attitude, Abril Mulan Anguiano.
This is where head coach Bob Kane of the Philly Smoke thrives. The way that he loaded up rounds 22, 23, and 24 in his best fighters. Rashida Ellis, who might as well be undefeated. Then after Steve Cunningham Sr., Stacia Suttles with a 2-point lead for the Philly Smoke. And the women do go 3-minute rounds.
And this is the first place that happened. Saw it last year, and the women have flocked to it.
Rashida took care of business in round 9 against Abril Anguiano. And you've seen Rashida in the past in TBL. When she's in the money rounds, it's 5th gear with her.
And sometimes you get to this stage, if you're trailing by a couple, you're looking for somebody to throw the bombs and power. With Rashida Ellis, a W would do for this team. Could go for more. Meanwhile, the New York fighters now may have to gamble. That could make them vulnerable, or they could come up big. But Ellis could give Philly its biggest lead of the night with 2 to go.
She's just in a different zone.
He's tailor-made for this league, for this type of a scoring. You need 1 point. Perfect fighter to get it for you.
There's the uppercut from Ellis. I know my brother Rashidi and Ronald are watching right now. We'll see Rashidi with the Boston Butchers. Older brother Ronald, of course. We would see him at Wild Card training with Freddie Roach, or you run into Ronald because he was one of Canelo's sparring partners for a while.
So Ellis and Stacia Suttles showing how Philadelphia made great off-season moves to bolster their lineup with these 2 fighters.
Absolutely. And Abril Anguiano is an excellent fighter. It's just, you see how Rashida Ellis, who's been around the world representing Team USA, the levels to it.
Yeah, the speed when you fight a Rashida Ellis. And you might be ready to load up and throw a punch, and she vanished.
Excellent round, and Philly's pulling away.
Check, please.
Yes, sir.
I'll take one.
The winner of this round by the score of 1-0. Out of the red corner for the Philly Smoke, Shaquille Ellis. Philly leads 17-14. Fans, we're at the final 2 rounds of the money rounds. This round is in the Cruiserweight division. In the red corner for the Philly Smoke, Steve USS Cunningham Sr. In the blue corner for the NYC Attitude, Tully Jesse Goliath Ives.
Round 23, but let's give Rashida Ellis some flowers here from people in the comments. Chad Burkhart, Rashida is lethal with the punches, but her defense just as stellar. Absolutely on point, Chad. And Ant-Man said Rashida is flawless, and she has been in TBL. Now, Steve Cunningham Sr. got caught in the previous round against Tully, and couldn't a rib injury maybe affect him here in round 23?
Well, Tully has all the pressure now. If you're looking at this, you're New York, you've got to fight Stacia next. Talia has to go for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Take the shot. Take the shot. Whatever happens, nothing bad can happen. Even if you get stopped, you have to be trying to get the knockout because of what's happening in the next fight, you think. And that's where the lineup and the juggling is big.
Talia from the Ivory Coast, Cruiserweight division. They're down by 3, the New York City attitude. You said it, Dave. You have to go for it. You got to go for that home run.
And it would be monolithic if it happened because it's one thing to know you've got to go for a knockout. Maybe you have a couple rounds to work with. You need a knockout, and you have 1 round against a veteran fighter who's been a world champion.
For Philadelphia, you stay on your feet, you win.
Yeah, and you might even get the point, but...
Come on, Tally!
You hear the coach, Benny Ramon and Ryan O'Leary, come on, Tally!
Yeah, like, we don't want a sweet science now.
No. There is no strategy, it's throw bombs.
That was the beauty for Philadelphia of having this late run. If it's 1 point rather than 3, you know, you can maybe box for the win and hope you get something in the next round. But because of Stacia being there for Philly, it puts a lot of pressure on other fighters.
Stacia is like that Mariano Rivera, Eric Gagne, closer. We're just, forget it, game over.
So,
not trying to disrespect at all to Flo Britos, but that's just who Stacia Sotos is.
And that has a ripple effect up and down the lineup in the money rounds leading it because somewhere along the line, somebody has to do something they're not comfortable with and go all out and try for the bomb.
I don't think Talia was comfortable going after it. There you go, attack the body. You heard him earlier. Go back to it.
And to be fair, it is a tall order that he had. Wasn't a novice fighter.
The winner of this round, by the score of 1-0, out of the red corner, for the Philly Smoke, Steve USS Cunningham Sr.
And that wraps it up.
Philly leads 18-14. This is the final round of the money round.
Well, what do we say after fight 19?
In the red corner,
Edge Philly, and they have proven that.
Multi-time national champion, Team USA member and Olympic trialist, Stacia the Natural Sotos. In the blue corner, for NYC attitude, Florencia Burritos.
24th and final round. And the Philadelphia Smoke have come back to take an 18-14 lead. They won the last 4 rounds, but the big hammer was Jesse Hart KO of Ramsey Slanger in round number 18 that gave them 4 points. right now, Stacia Suttles in the black and white, going up against the southpaw Flo Britos.
Yeah, Hart changed everything. So Philly, instead of trying to make up a couple points to get even, now is able to fight with its first lead down the stretch and then be in a good spot to close strong.
Saturday night action will be in LA. The LA Elite at home against the Las Vegas Hustle. And then Sunday, Houston Hitmen take on the San Antonio Snipers. Team Boxing League Season 4. Make sure you follow the social media accounts and subscribe to the YouTube page for great coverage and keep up to date with the fighters and what's going on this season. It's real simple. Stacia stays on her feet, Philly wins. But that's not her attitude or approach.
No. She might be thinking, will the other fighter stay on her feet?
She's not just
especially after you've had a knockout, you know, the big knockdown from her. Might be thinking power.
And also for Stacia, it's not about tonight. It's about sending a message to everybody in the league for all season. And there's that right hand for Stacia. New York City attitude. Season 3 champions. Nothing easy about Team Boxing League. You get matched up quick and hard every single week.
Well, you look at a couple dynamic things here. Players acquired, the fighters acquired have come up huge for Philly with Ellis with 2 wins. Stacia Suttles already with a 2-point win. And then Jesse the Bomb Hart changing the complexion of this one.
And early on, it was all New York, 8-3. Ryan Zempotenka came in with a knockout in the launch rounds. And then little by little, round by round, Philly started chopping away. Once we got to the money rounds, it was over.
And we saw the intangible power aspect come up big for Philly tonight also. I mean, back-to-back rounds with knockdowns. And then the 4-pointer by Jesse Hart. Well, this is a good way to build as a team, too. You look at this and say, you know, we just utterly dominated these money rounds against the defending champion team.
As you should, Dave Von Temple. You take care of business right away. You don't mess around. And Stacia Suttles does not do that. Comes in right away as one of the best fighters in Team Boxing League. So Philly's on their way to a victory.
The winner of this round by the score of 1-0, out of the red corner for the Philly Smoke, Stacia the Natural Suttles. Our final score this evening,
Stacia Suttles closes the deal. Philly Smokes gets the victory. We'll break it down coming up next right here on Team Boxing League action from Philadelphia. Team Boxing League is brought to you by Balance of Nature. In boxing, consistency beats intensity. Balance of Nature supplements help you stay consistent with ingredients of whole foods you can easily slide into your daily routine. Go to balanceofnature.com, use the code TEAM, and start today. What a night of action from Philadelphia. The Philly Smoke get the victory, but some big highlights. And of course, is going to be the man who leads the way, Jesse Hart.
Yeah, he did it all here for the Philly Smoke with the 4-point knockout victory, giving this team its first lead. He's the leader. He's the one they all look up to on this team. And he got a decision victory, then came back against the same fighter and dropped that TNT load. And this is where the fight changed. And if you're a Philly fan saying, well, I see more of this from Jesse Hart this year. That was great.
4 big points for Jesse Hart. Let's go ringside at the Fillmore in Philly.
Fight fans, our final score here this evening. The Philly Smoke defeat the NYC Attitude 19-14. It's time for our 3 stars of the night. Our 3rd star from the NYC Attitude, Ryan Pretty Boy Zambateka. Our 2nd star of the night from the Philly Smoke, Stacia the Natural Suttles. And our Balance of Nature, 1st star of the night from the Philly Smoke, Jesse Hard Work Hard. Fans, our round of the night was round number 1 between Lysandra La Reverde Contreras and Natalie Zambateka.
All right, I'm here with Hard Work tonight. Now, be honest, was it hard work for that TKO or was it light work for you tonight?
I mean, it was hard work. You know, I ain't gonna take nothing away from Raph. He's a good fighter. They came to win, but you know, they came up short.
Okay, I was backstage before we got started tonight. Coach said he wanted to stay alert and win rounds. You did just that. Did you have this vision for your night coming into season 4?
Absolutely. I told Bobby Kane and Ron Dove, my managers, that I was gonna knock this kid out. I said he's not gonna last. I'm gonna make it go 1 round so I can get the extra point. But I didn't know they were scoring like this, but I would have knocked him out the 1st round. It would have got him out of the 1st one. But my man Nas said take him to Birch Street. I see Van Booski back there, 28th Street in here. My whole neighborhood, I had to get him out of here. I had to.
Shouts out to the Philly Smoke and Hard Work here. That is the end of season 4, or not the end of season 4, but the opening night of season 4 here on Team Boxing League.
Look, Philadelphia Smoke is going back to the championship this year. We bringing Paul back. We got Sugar Sheen, Zah, Nah, Rashida. But yo, my whole team coming again. Bomb Squad.
Jesse Hart, always shy around the camera. He really should open up a little bit more, Dave.
Yeah, you just have some fun in this league.
He has a good time, and he got the big KO. They Philly Smoke win because of Jesse Hart. So Friday night is done. Saturday night, LA action. The LA Elite taking on the Las Vegas Hustle. That has become a good rivalry in Team Boxing League. A lot of the fighters know each other. They sparred each other, and they've seen each other. But tonight, it was all about the Philly Smoke coming back to get the 19-14 victory on opening night of Season 4 of the Team Boxing League. Great job by everybody behind the scenes, from my partner Dave Bontempo and Jared in the truck and everybody. Love you all. Season 4 is off to a hot start. I'm Beth Duran. Good night from Philly.